Ghost Cadet by Marie Alphen takes the reader through Benji's summer in Newmarket, Virginia with his grandmother. He meets the ghost of a VMI cadet who was killed in the Battle of Newmarket. Benji helps the ghost recover his family's gold watch. This book can be used with grades 4th and up, and it can be used for making anticipation guides and predictions. Behind Rebel Lines by Seymour Ritt is the true story of Emma Edmonds. In the beginning of the Civil War, Emma joined the Union Army disguised as a man. She ended up taking the place of a Union spy who had been caught and executed. She played many different roles as a spy and was extremely beneficial to the Union Army. This book can be used for grade levels 5th and up. It can be used for making predictions and comparing and contrasting the Union and Confederate Army. Civil War on Sunday is a part of the Magic Treehouse series. Annie and Jack were taken back to the time of the Civil War. They meet Clara Barton, a famous nurse, and try to help wounded soldiers. This book can be used with grade levels 1st through 4th, which would be our lower readers, and can be used to work on character development. Shades of Grey by Carolyn Reeder tells the story of Will Page. He lost his entire immediate family in the Civil War and now has to go live with some relatives he's never met. The aftermath of the war has people struggling, and Will does not like his uncle at first. Will learns all about honor and courage throughout the book and also gains respect for his uncle. This book can be used with grade levels 3rd through 7th and can be used for comparing and contrasting perspectives of different sides during the war.
The Civil War A to Z includes over 100 alphabetized entries of some of the most important places, people, and events of the Civil War. Historical maps, photographs, and drawings are incorporated to complement the entries. The book contains specific entries about slavery, battles, the home front, career briefs, nurses, generals, political parties, cabinet members, politicians, writers, abolitionists, organizations, and Lincoln's role as president. The Civil War Encyclopedia helps readers to better understand what went on during and at the time of the Civil War and the different types of people involved. Students could complete an anticipation guide on battlefield events, people, and political parties as a comprehension strategy. This book is more suitable for advanced readers because it is at a grade level equivalent of 8.6.
The Split History of the Civil War by Stephanie Fitzgerald portrays the Confederate side of the Civil War in one half of the book, and when you flip the book over, you can read about the Union side. It is written like a mini textbook. Each perspective contains 4 chapters, an index, a glossary, and a timeline. Every other page contains paintings of the Civil War or images of historic artifacts. This book would be great for students to learn about multiple perspectives of the war, and they could even create a Venn diagram of each perspective as a comprehension strategy. This book would be best for your more on-grade level readers and advanced readers because its grade level equivalent is for 4th through 6th grade. Key Battles of the Civil War, part of the Americans at War series, provides a 2-page spread on 10 of the major battles from the Civil War, ranging from Fort Sumter to Gettysburg to Appomattox Courthouse. The ongoing timeline at the bottom of each page will show students not only the time frame of the war, but also when each specific battle took place. Every battle shows the map of where the troops went before and during each battle. And they also have an after-action report, which tells the reader who won, who lost, who the leaders were, and the number of casualties. The bolded words throughout the text can be looked up in the back of the book in the glossary. Because this book is for 4th grade and up, this would be a good book to supplement your class discussions about the specific battles, and you can use an anticipation guide as a comprehension strategy.
Voices of the Civil War, Stories from the Battlefield provides eye-opening and eyewitness accounts from a variety of soldiers during the Civil War, America's bloodiest war. These accounts disclose information about living conditions, weapons, battle sights and sounds, and daily life. What better way to help readers gain perspective of what happened and what it was like to live and fight in the Civil War battles than personal stories from actual soldiers at that time? This would be a wonderful book for students to create a Venn diagram in order to compare and contrast perspectives from Confederate soldiers and Union soldiers as a comprehension strategy. With a grade level equivalent of 5.1, this book would be a great book for students who are right on track with reading.
The Civil War is a film directed by Ken Burns and teaches the viewer all about famous figures from the Civil War and famous battles. The video also shows what life was like for the ordinary people or non-soldiers. It can be used to supplement what we would be teaching in class.
Tim and Moby are back at it. In this video, they are asked what happened during the Civil War. Through animation, this video talks all about the Civil War, specifically Abraham Lincoln and Jefferson Davis, and a discussion of secession. This would be a great supplement to any beginning lesson on the Civil War because students will be able to hear and watch the major highlights of the war. After watching the video, students could fill in the blanks on a worksheet to assess whether or not students comprehended the information presented in the video. This time, Tim and Moby are trying to determine whether the Civil War was all about the states' rights or slavery. First, Tim and Moby go into the basics of the Civil War. They describe the meaning behind states' rights, the 10th Amendment, the Nullification Crisis, the Missouri Compromise, and the Kansas-Nebraska Act. This brain pop describes a lot about the Civil War causes and provides the information in very simplistic terms, which all students can benefit from. Before, after, and during the video, students could fill out a KWL chart for the causes of the Civil War.